Peace, blessings, and salutations. My name is Yurima Karama here with a segment by myself of Real Life with Real Talk. So, want to talk about a few things that I got inboxed. One being Donald Trump, the other being marketing. But I want you to think about this. We'll get to those. We'll get to those, the latter two, in just a moment. But I want you to think about this. Let's say, hypothetically, that you helped an organization bring in hundreds of millions of dollars. Let's say you and some others helped an organization bring in hundreds of millions of dollars. And let's say that there were groups of people before you that also helped this organization bring in hundreds of millions of dollars. And this was a reoccurring theme that there were different groups of people who helped this particular organization bring in millions, hundreds of millions of dollars per year in revenue, or in most cases, profit. Okay, so you're with me. So now let's say hypothetically that you don't make a dime off of that 100 million, those hundreds of millions of dollars that you help the organization bring in. You don't get anything. As a matter of fact, if you possibly even receive a gift, it could be a violation and you could be terminated from that organization. What are your thoughts? You haven't made anything. So the question that was brought to me is, should college athletes get paid? There's a common sense answer. And then, we can look and try to break things up and chop it up and break it down to its finest fiber. But at the end of the day, you make this organization hundreds of millions of dollars, absolutely you should get paid. College athletes should have been getting paid years ago. Because here's what the scouts do. The scouts start tracking some of these kids, especially inner city kids. They start tracking them in 6th, 7th grade. They really start the tracking and the scouting in high school through their 9th through 12th grade years. These scouts, they're out. And what they try to do is they try to pick certain ones out of the bunch and say, come on over here. We can use you over here. They take you out on campus, show you that, that you will be very welcomed at their particular campus. They show you all the glitz and the glamour that the campus life can offer you. And all you have to do to get this full ride is dribble this basketball or throw this football or run this ball or dunk or be able to jump this high, that high. And you know what? We'll give you a full ride scholarship for your education. Now, if the individual kid who is plucked comes and delivers and lives up to the expectation, ticket sales go up. You possibly now there's talks of your team being in the college finals, the collegiate finals, and you might make the championship game. Now we're talking about March Madness and all of that. So, but these kids aren't being paid a dime. They don't get a penny of this money. I think that's quite absurd. Now, if they don't get paid, my position is the coaches shouldn't get paid. Give the coaches regular salary. How is the coach making millions? He's not out there on the field. Now, true enough, the coach might have helped this child hone his skills. He might have taken a kid who already had a natural ability and helped him to hone it. But at the end of the day, that's his job. He's a coach. He's supposed to do that. No, give that coach his regular $40,000, $50,000 or $60,000 salary. instead of the millions that he's getting. Why is he getting millions and this kid can't get nothing? If the kid gets a gift, if he's given a car by somebody, that's a violation. So, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a conversation that has been brought up over the course of time, and they keep trying to brush it up under the rug, because mostly what we're talking about is young black men and women who are bringing diversity, not only diversity to these schools, but they're bringing their God-given talents to these schools and helping many of these schools win championships that they would not have won without the help of these individuals. So the argument then becomes, well, Urema, I mean, they're getting a degree. Yeah, we see what degrees are getting Americans these days. You might get a job at McDonald's, so the degree is kind of irrelevant at this point. And then basically there's no guarantee that they're going to make it to the pros, so they don't have any funds set aside. If they get hurt, there's a possibility that they could lose their scholarship, their full ride, if they get hurt. We don't talk about the damage done, the physical damage that plays on the body. So then it was addressed or asked, well, is this a slave plantation? I will say that I won't go that far because slavery was forced. But I will say that it could be prepping these young kids for a slave plantation, meaning going to the pros. Because the young kids actually have more liberties and freedoms than the pros. Because once you go into the pros and you sign those contracts, there's certain things that you can't do. Because, let's face it, Massa says you can't. So there's certain things that you can't say, which is why when you really look at it, and I'm no expert, I don't know a lot of the sports figures, I don't watch it like that, but which is why they were so mad at Marshawn Lynch. And I felt the brother myself. I every time they were mad, I was smiling and happy, joyful. So, but that just shows the difference on how we look at people. It's perception. So, yeah, I think our college athletes should get paid. Should have been getting paid. It's ridiculous that they're not. That's the problem with it. It might not be so much, and it's close to the slave plantation, except that they have a choice. But outside of that, it's questionable. And it's an issue, and it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Moving on, Donald Trump. I was asked, what do I think my prospects are for Donald Trump? And if he gets into the White House, I will put it to you like this, short, brief, and to the point. I think that we should have gotten to a phase right now and a level where we understand that it really doesn't matter who's president. Donald Trump, Clinton, Sanders, it really doesn't matter, because the bankers, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, old money, they tend to call the shots, and Donald Trump is not going to do anything that they don't tell him to do, or Hillary Clinton's not going to do anything that they don't tell her to do. Bernie Sanders is not going to do anything that they don't tell him to do. And if they go against the grain, well, we know what happened to John F. Kennedy. So moving on to the next subject. Brother inboxed me, and this is for you, Derek. You wanted me to talk on the issue of marketing, and do advertising agencies tend to miss the mark when they do certain marketing, specifically when it comes to blacks or African Americans. My position is this, is that most advertisers either have one of two things. They either come from a Eurocentric background or they have a Eurocentric mindset. Advertisers, they do marketing analysis. They follow market trends. They tend to seek out target markets. Black people, we are consumers. They have diagnosed us as being consumers. Therefore, how they market to us, or how advertising is, You can watch commercial after commercial after commercial, and if you're able to take your mind outside of the matrix and look back in, you can always see where advertising has missed the mark. You can always be able to see, just watch commercials and try to think and step outside the box. Now, I know that that's difficult to do because some of that is going to depend on your background. It's going to depend on what type of environment you grew up in. There's socio-economic, political factors involved. But if you can step outside the matrix and look back in, you will see that most advertising is insensitive to the people targeted. Just as many movies are where there's depiction or portrayals of black folk in them, they're very insensitive. I think the emasculation of the black male is at an all-time high. They're never going to show look, here's what you get. You get black men who are either, and this could be women too, but mostly it's black men who are either buffoons. They got to be joking. They got to be on some clown time, telling jokes or buffooning, or you get the rough, rugged. He's just got no give to him. You know, he's just no nonsense all day, can't laugh, can't smile, just that rough, rugged type of guy that and then you get the emasculation. They're going to put you, the black male, in a dress, a wig, some lipstick, high heels, and have him portray a woman. And so what you're not going to get is you're not going to get that strong black man who is able to, they're going to portray him in different lights that are actually true life. They're not going to show the black man crying because his community's in despair and he feels powerless to do anything about it. They're not going to show the black man who's actually taking care of his children. They're not going to show you the single black male dads. When they show you black women, now they're going to show you more of black women with white men. Pay attention to the subliminals. I always say that it's all about the subliminals. There are subliminal messages in marketing and advertisement. That's what it does. That's why it's so effective. That's why they got most people stuck on stupid. That's why I call the television the one-eyed devil and I rarely watch it. And then when I do, you have to be able to define truth. You have to be able to see the forest for the trees, so to speak. So, Derek, you were completely right. There was no BS in what you said. The back and forth between you and your classmate, I side with you. You were completely right. Advertising agencies, they do things. And one thing about it, an advertising agency, if it's going to get them some publicity, and they put out an advertisement that is insensitive, if they put out something that is a mix of race that might infuriate people, rather than not put it out, they'll always be willing to apologize. Get what I'm saying? Rather than not put it out, meaning that 9 times out of 10, they knew before they put it out. That's why they put it out. So when they put it out, they know that there's probably going to be some black backlash, but because we live in a capitalistic society, I call it the devil's den, because we live in a capitalistic society where it says money over anything, even feelings, or we don't really care how sensitive a person takes this. They'd rather get on and apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. Oh, you done gotten the publicity now. You got people looking. You got people watching. Why? Wait, what's the complaint about? Let me click on. I want to see that commercial. You locked in. They got you. So, Yurima Karama with another segment of Real Life with Real Talk. Also, to the young people out there, I've had people inbox me, hey man, you're old, you're an older guy. Jay-Z got you messed up, got you out here rapping. Let me tell you something. The real talk. Do what you do, man. Do what you do. Don't never let nobody tell you what you can't do. If I was an idiot and listened to that, because I recognize that the devil sends demons, he sends his demons. That's what they do. And sometimes those demons come in the form of human vessels. So we have to pay attention to, just as the universe sends positive human vessels sometimes to send us a message to let us know, to get us back on track, the devil, he's got a job too, and he sends human vessels. But if you listen to him, they got you. So for the people who ridicule me, if I listen to you, I'm the damn idiot. But since I don't listen to you, move on, Satan. Get on. So we just put it in terms like that. And I tell all young people, never let nobody tell you what you can't do. When somebody's telling you what you can't do, that's because they have iniquities in themselves. And they know that they haven't tapped into themselves. They haven't gotten them right. So they want to see you fail. So never let nobody tell you what you can't do. I even got a poem about that. Never let nobody tell you what you can't do. As a matter of fact, quite frankly, when people tell me what I can't do, I go harder. So, Yurima Karama, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can go to my webpage, www.yurimakarama.com, and you can go there to find my performance venues, my performance dates, locations, and you can also go there to get my email info, phone info. So if you want to connect, you can inbox me. With that, peace, blessings, salutations. Thanks for your support. Until next time, one.